Good morning, everybody. This is Julia Takeshita. I want to welcome everybody online. We're a few minutes ahead of the game, but I wanted to welcome you to the TIPWeb-IT question and answer this morning. And we will kind of hang out for a few more minutes until 11:30 as we have a few more people chiming in. If you are chiming in, joining in on the webcast, I do have the call-in number and code in the chat box. So you are welcome to call in using that information. I know it has Stephanie's name in. I hope you're not too disappointed this morning that it is me today. But we will be talking about the tag and serial search in TIPWeb-IT. I do have a tentative agenda there on the screen. It does contain a lot of information, so we will go over that as we can. In the Files to Download section, you'll see here at the bottom of the screen, I do have a handout that you're welcome to download and print at your leisure. This will contain a lot of the details that we will be talking about today, and in case we don't get full time to cover it, it will be there for you to go over on your own. And of course, you can give me a call via the 800 number and to support if you do need further clarification on those different topics. So if you have speakers or are calling in on the phone line, we will be taking your questions throughout the 30 minutes. Again, this is a question and answer period, so please shout out your questions. I'd be happy to answer those. And if you would prefer to use the chat box, I will be checking that throughout the time frame here and sharing those with you as well and trying to get as many answered as we can. So just another minute and we will get started. Okay, good morning. Well, we are going to get started, and we have a good group of people online. Looks about like 19 or 20 of you, so I've taken it off lecture mode so that you can hear me and I can hear you. So this will enable us to have a back and forth conversation this morning. So I will be able to hear your questions, and you should be able to hear each other. So hopefully we will be able to have a good conversation this morning. And just to refresh, we are talking about TIPWeb-IT, and the topic is the tag and serial search. As you see on the screen this morning, we have a pretty good agenda going, talking about TIPWeb-IT and the tag and serial search, the different tabs within the tag information modal. And we will go through each of those in slight detail as we are a little bit limited on time this morning with a 30-minute window, and I'll be happy to stay over a little bit if we do need to. And going into perhaps who can edit and change that information, and then time allowing, we can talk a little bit about related reports. Keeping in mind, I don't want to keep you too far over, but down here in the bottom, I have uploaded a handout that does cover in detail the information in the agenda. So if we don't get a chance to cover in full detail everything this morning, you are able to download this in the Files to Download section. So please feel free to do that, and that way you can go over the information at your leisure, print that, and save that. And of course, you are welcome to give us a call or give me a call at customer support, and I would be happy to answer any questions that you have that we were not able to cover this morning. And again, this is Julia Takeshita. I work in customer support here at Hayes, and as I'm looking down our list this morning, I know that I've had some great conversations with a lot of you, so very excited that you have joined me this morning. So we're going to move right on unless we have any questions right off the bat this morning that we can touch base on.
No.
No? Sounds good.
Just a quick question, sorry.
Yes, please.
I think the most important thing, because I'm a system engineer, so basically I know pretty much how to do the TIPWeb. The only thing I was not sure about pretty much was audit reports and room component listing report, how I would export those, or how would I find, for example, Chromebooks or iPads, or create like a CSV file or Excel spreadsheet from the TIPWeb.
Okay. The components listing report, we can touch on that a little bit towards the end. If you will help to remind me, we will touch on that at the very end if you don't mind.
Yes,
that is one of the reports that we will go over. And the tag export.
And Shiraz, I can show you how to do that too. It's Emily.
Okay.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, hello, Emily.
As well.
Hey. Wonderful. Yes, Miss Emily is fantastic at those reports, so we will definitely tag team with you on those, okay?
Okay, I appreciate you. Yeah, no, Emily's great. She's been great for helping me out, but it's just a couple of people in my school asked me, so I thought I can learn as much as if I learn, I can then pass on that to the tech contacts in my school.
Fantastic. Yes, that the tags grid, it will become your best friend, and learning how to filter that, you will get lots of information from that grid. So absolutely, Shiraz, we will spend some time on that as we can, and if not, I can give you a call back later, and we can spend some time together on that. Okay.
Okay, no worries. Okay. Or I mean, if we don't get to cover it, then I can always speak to Emily. She's always been great, helping much. Like I said, I've not been back to my office where Emily works, so obviously I just thought I'd pick up on this seminar today, or webinar, or
Okay,
so.
Fantastic. All right. Anything else we can make sure and touch base on this morning? All right. Well, let's dive right in. So I'm going to share my screen. And let's make sure, share my screen, and hopefully you will be seeing.
Yep.
All right. So are you seeing my Learning Campus screen? Is that right?
Yeah.
All right. Fantastic. So what you'll see is up here in the top section called the Tag and Serial Search Box. And if you are new to the application, this little drop down, you'll see this little caret to the left, to the right of a lot of different fields. And what this means is that there's additional information that you can use to search. In this field, you can also search for staff and student information. So you can do by last name or by ID number. So this little drop-down search area is a great area to look for information that you may be in search of. But today we're going to focus on the tag and serial search. You can enter information manually, or you can use your scanner and scan information to pull up with your barcode. So I have a scanner in hand, and as you can hear that happy little beep, we're going to pull up a tag. And this is called the Tag Information Modal. This is a separate window that'll open up and give you details about your tag. And you can see across the top are different tabs of information that pertain to this particular tag or asset tag or label, as you may call it in different districts. The first tab is your Detailed tab. It will give you the tag information or tag number, the serial number, the site on which this asset is located, the room in which it's located, the type of asset. Is it a standalone? Is it a parent? Is it a component? What is the status of the tag? Is it available? Is it in use, repair, sent back to the vendor? When was the last scan date? As you can see, I scanned it today, so the date is here. And if you happen to have the RFID part of the application, is this an RFID tag and has it been enabled? In this case, no, it hasn't. Then you may have custom fields associated with this particular product type. In this case, the image date has been entered. Any tag notes that may be associated. You'll have asset condition, and if there's a due date when this tag is issued, you can enter due date information. If you have the specific type of user role that may allow you to edit this information, in this bottom right corner, you'll see a green edit edit icon, that little green pencil, that will allow you to edit information about this tag. You can change the tag number. You can edit the serial number. You may need to update the image date. You can change any notes about the tag. You can update the asset condition, and then you can save this information. Funding information is about the particular asset. In this case, the source of this tag, it came in by being initialized, meaning it was initialized into a room. It didn't come in via a purchase order. So therefore, it doesn't have a purchase order number. It doesn't have vendor information. The funding source was a district budget. It doesn't have an FRN or any of the state funding or federal funding information, which may come provided via the purchase order. Again, account code, purchase date, those kinds of things may come in through a purchase order. You can edit if you have the user role. And by clicking on it, you can edit the information. You can also associate it to a purchase order. Should you discover, oh gosh, this particular asset should have been associated to a purchase order, you can do that here. By clicking on the purchase order, you would determine which purchase order you need to associate it to, and click Select and follow the particular wizard information to associate it to that particular purchase order. Down here at the bottom, then, you're going into the product information. Because it is not associated to a purchase order, you have the flexibility of updating the product type as well as or the product number. So you can click on the Edit pencil and update. So for example, if it's not a ThinkPad, it perhaps is an iPad, You can edit the product number by clicking the Edit pencil and selecting the proper product number and updating the product. So far, so good?
Yep.
Any questions about that particular area? Okay, I'm going to keep moving forward, and if you do have questions, don't hesitate to stop me. This may be kind of old news for a lot of you, but if you are new and do have questions, don't hesitate to let me know, okay? Some of these icons that are highlighted, for example, if I were not in the Learning Campus site, you would see an icon by Learning Campus, which would allow me to view switch to the Learning Campus. Since I am on Learning Campus, you will see an icon here at the room location, and I can view switch to this room. Okay, so that's another feature here. So other tabs that we have in the Information Modal include the status history. So anytime that this tag changes status, it will be documented here. So it's changed rooms, it's been removed as a component or added as a component. So it's changing status and documented here. When it gets added to an audit, it will also show on audit history. And in this particular tag, it's never been audited. So it's not shown in audit history. But one of the newer features, which you may or may not be aware, is called a quick verify. And this is a feature that would be turned on at the administrative level. And this allows for a spot audit. So some districts have assets that are distributed to staff or to students, and sometimes you have difficulty getting staff or students to bring those assets into the room during your audit period. And if that's the case and you're struggling with getting everybody to show up with all those assets, you may want to turn on this feature called Quick Verify, and which allows you to audit, if you will, or verify that that student or that staff member is in possession of that tag or that asset when they come into your room and you see Johnny's got his laptop. You can quick verify by scanning that tag and verifying that they have it. And what this does is confirming that this particular tag, in this case, is available in this room. Do you want to proceed? Yes, I do. And what this will do, and I'll show you in just a moment once it finishes. Let's go back, and we'll put that tag back in. Oh. There we go. It is showing that it's been verified today in this room to show that it was available in this room. So you're taking just a quick spot audit of that tag that you have seen this asset in this room. Or if it was distributed to a staff or a student, you have seen this asset in the hands of that individual on this day and time. So that might be a feature that you, yeah, it might prove helpful to you. Okay?
Is this new?
And, I'm sorry?
Is it new?
Yes, it is relatively new.
Okay.
And you can turn that on under, I believe it's District Preferences on the admin level on the home screen.
So I assume that if the teachers don't have scanners, which a lot of them won't, they can just quickly type it in?
Yes, that's absolutely correct.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Ticket history, for those of you who might have Get Help, which is our ticketing system. If you have begun using that system, ticket history will generate here for the different tags if they have work orders. And components, should you wish to associate tags, so you have parent and component tags, or parent and child tags, if you will. If that relationship is set up, or you would like to set that up, you would do that here. So any tag that you wish to, if you'd like to have tag 4107 be the parent tag, then you would scan a secondary tag. In this, whoops, I'm sorry, I did that incorrectly. Let's go back one. I didn't have my cursor in the right space. Let's go back to 7. In the components section, and you would like to create a relationship, then you would scan your tag number in here and create a parent component relationship. So now my 4107 is the parent and my 4108 is the component. Okay? Should you wish to have any attachments, for example, if you wish to attach a copy of the PO, should tag number 4107 become stolen or lost and you have a police report, you can attach that kind of documentation to this tag. If you'd like to have your distribution receipt or transaction receipt, you can have attached to this tag. So lots of information you can add if you'd like to have it attached to the tag. So you would have that document saved on your computer, you would browse for it, you can add any notes to it, and save it here. So that would all attach to the tag. So lots of different information you can add to this particular tag information modal. Any questions so far about the tag information modal?
No.
No? So far so good? Okay. Let's take another. I'm going to jump back to my agenda just to make sure. And what else do we need to cover? All righty. So then let's take a look at who can edit or change information. So depending on the user roles. So user roles, now with a lot of the addition or flexibility that we have added to the administrative level, user roles have become very flexible. Okay, so I'm going to view switch to the administrative view. And I'm going to show you quickly that quick verify. And it is right here under Manage District Settings, under the Audit section, and allow quick tag verification on tag information modal. So right here, you would enable it, and you would save it. Okay? So that's how you would allow that little quick verify to become available. Okay? And user role settings, lots of different options here for your site admins and your site users. If you have not taken a look through here lately, for those of you that are admins, lots of new options regarding transfers, initiated audits, being able to reconcile audits. I know this is a little off topic, but if you've not had an option to look through or an opportunity to look through here, we've had lots of enhancements in this area. So you might want to take a peek. Just a heads up in that area. But we're going to jump over to users. And we're going to take a peek at a site view administrator. And we're going to look in their permissions. So modify permissions. Okay. So looking at tags, any tag editing is where so you're going to want to make sure that if you want your user, whether administrator or user, to have the ability to edit, you're going to want to make sure that this component is checked. If they don't have the ability to, if you don't want them to have the ability to edit, then you'll want to uncheck this piece, okay? So whether they're an admin or a user, and I'll just verify that here with our user, this person doesn't, as a site user, they don't have the ability to edit tags. So you, at your discretion for an admin, you can give them the ability to edit tags or not, okay? So you'll have that option. You'll have that flexibility depending on your user types. Any questions about that part? Okay. So let me get into quickly. So I know that we were looking for the room component listing. So I'm going to jump back to my site. And we are going to go to rooms and the room component listing report. And this will, I'm sorry, I did that very quickly, so you might not have seen it. So from rooms, and the rooms report is here,
Okay,
and it's down in Excel, the rooms component listing. And when you click to generate, I'm going to see if I can pull that over for you. It will look like this, and it is not impacted by the filters on the rooms grid. This will simply show you everything that is listed as a parent and component, and we'll show you the parent, and then we'll show you the listed components associated to that parent. So it'll give you the tag, the serial, the product number, the name, and so forth that have been associated together.
So parent means like a cart, and the component means in that cart, how many Chromebooks are in that cart, example, yeah? Is that what it is?
Yes, perfect example.
Okay.
You got it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah,
Thank you, ma'am.
absolutely, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. And Shiraz, was there another, I'm sorry, you were looking for also the tag export. Was that the other one you were looking for?
Yeah. So you showed me that list. Can that be exported? Can that be exported to an Excel sheet or CSV file, or how does that come, an XML file? How
Yes.
does that, you know?
Yes. So the tag export from a site level can be done simply right over in the tags export link here on the left side.
Yeah.
And you simply click on it, and it will tell you it might take us several minutes to generate because it is a huge report, because it will print for every tag at that site. And it will print.
Maybe I didn't ask you. Maybe I'm getting it. Can you do like a classroom to classroom report, or you can't? You just have to generate the whole report.
You can do actually, however makes most sense for you. You can break it down by room number if you like, based on the filter. And this is from the tags grid.
Okay.
And you can break it down by room number. You can break it down by staff, student, something on a transfer. You can break it down by product type.
Okay.
If you're looking for a certain status, and you can combine any of these filters. The other opportunity, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, so basically, one of the questions I was asked by the tech contest, you know, the TIPWeb people who use TIPWeb in my school that I manage was, can you print a report, for example, and print it up, and so they can stick it in their classroom against the wall, or in the plastic wall, and see what is in that room? Can you? That's what I'm trying to figure out. There's a way you can print out a report classroom per classroom, so it's easier. No, so I walk in this classroom and look at the paper attached against the wall, say, okay, this is the same number, these are the products in this classroom, or these are devices that should be in this classroom. Can you print those worksheet out room by room? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
yes,
the room
can.
inventory worksheet, Shiraz.
Okay,
yes,
thank you, Emily. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah,
yes, you can do that room by room on the Rooms tab. And you
Okay.
can do a room inventory worksheet, which comes out in PDF, and you can also
Okay.
do it line by line with the room inventory report. One of them contains pictures of the different assets, and one of them is more kind of a lined worksheet, so it doesn't take up as many pages, if you will. So depending on how much detail you would like to prepare them with.
Okay, okay. So room inventory worksheet, you will click on that, give room by room report.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, thanks so much. Thanks, Emily.
No problem.
Great questions, guys. Anything else that we can make sure? We have a few more minutes left. So what else may I go over for you? Let me see if I have any questions coming through. Do I have any typed questions, maybe? Let's see. Okay, love the quick verify. Fantastic. I know it's a life changer for a lot of people. Excellent.
So just
Okay.
one last question. Tags,
Sure.
the tag, the tag, the tag icon there. That's for tag report, or
Yes.
what's that?
The tag export?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you have to click on the tag above where it says students, audits, tag, staff, room. So if you click on tags, what does tag do? It just exports the tag numbers for the devices.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm where my cursor is now, the tags.
Yeah. Okay. When you click on that, what's that? I forgot what that. Oh, okay. So this is where you can specify what kind of report you want to generate. Is that correct?
Yes, on the tags tab, it allows you to filter for specific tag information.
Okay,
So yes, and the advanced filters gives you a ton of ability to filter. So particularly in the custom filters area on the green plus,
yeah.
and I think Emily probably is pretty well versed in this, gives you all these different filters to kind of narrow down by as well.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, thanks so much. Yeah, that was clarified. Okay, so that's just basically just what you want to be shown on the report and what you don't want to be. So it's like editing the report before it prints out, correct?
Yes, you can either expand or narrow down the information. Yes, correct.
Okay, thanks so much. Yeah, cool. Okay, appreciate
You're
you.
welcome.
Thanks.
You're welcome. And I see we have a question from Carla about how do you perform a room audit. And Ms. Carla, that is a really pretty broad question. If you don't mind, I would like to reach out to you more specifically with detail. Would that be okay? I can reach out to you with some step-by-step information on that. Because a room audit is a little bit different than a district audit, and I can give you some step-by-step instructions on that. Would that be okay? I'm not sure if you're still on with us, but I will be happy to send you some step-by-step instructions on that. That would allow you to take audits room by room, as opposed to the whole site at once.
Well, I'm going to shoot off now. We'll go. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Your time. And Emily, I'll catch up with you soon. I'll be at the office tomorrow, so I'll see you there, Emily.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
So,
well, thank you so much, Roz. I appreciate you joining us.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I learned a lot there. Thank you so much for answering my questions. Have a good day.
You're welcome. You too. Thanks,
Cheers.
Carla. I see your response. Perfect. I will get that out to you this morning, okay?
Bye now. Bye.
Bye-bye. Is there anything else anyone needs that I can provide to you? Just if you'd like to either shout it out or type it in the chat box, I'd be happy to get that out to you. And if you don't have any further questions, you are welcome to please enjoy your day. Thank you so much for joining us. And we look forward to you joining us for the next question and answer, which Next week, next Wednesday, I believe, will be a TIPWeb-IM topics for reporting at the district level. I'd like to know what is the advantage of doing a site audit instead of a room audit. This is from Tina. We do all of ours by room. Okay. Ms. Tina, if you're still on, I'll give a quick synopsis of that. A site audit is created by the district. It is for every, depending on how the filters are set up, it can be done for every room at a site. It can be filtered down by product type. It also can be filtered for staff and students, depending on how you set it up. Let me also give you a call, Tina, because we can kind of talk through your end goal for auditing, because if your goal is to be more focused, then doing a room audit may be to your advantage. So let me give you a call on that and see what might suit you best, okay? So I will give you a call and help you through that option as well. Anybody else out there that I can help?
I have a question, but it has nothing to do with this.
Sure. What you got, Emily?
When you, and I put this in an email, when you, if I run a tags report like on Chromebooks and I say I want to look at all my available in transit, in repair, and in use, does that in transit, in repair really not reflect in that total? So let's say I had some that said in transit waiting to be received. So let's say I have, let's just say my school has 5, but then I have 4 waiting to be received. So on that report it shows 4 in transit. When I go and receive those 4, is my total now going to be 9? Or is it still 5? Because I had one today where I had a bunch that didn't get received over the summer because of different people changing jobs and everything, and I ran the report, so I had this number. After I received 268, even though they were in my original file as in transit, all of a sudden it bumped up, and now I have 1,300. So I'm wondering if I should not include in transit in my report because that doesn't give me a true picture of the, you know, what I'm supposed to have at that site.
If a tag is in transit, in the status of in transit, it should not be reflected as in use or available. So that status should only impact one quantity numerically, if that makes sense. So it should not double count that tag in your numbers.
Okay, so if I did receive that number, I just don't understand why my number jumped up so much this morning. Because I said, okay, I have 1,164, but then I received 268 that were still in transit on my site, but now it's jumped to 1,300. That shouldn't normally happen. Maybe they weren't in their original count to begin with.
That could be possible if there was a PO that would have been submitted at some point that would have increased the number, or a transfer would have been received in between at some point, so that the in use would have increased. Okay. Or if you would have had students, if they were distributed to students, and when the student transferred, then that would have gone, moved, the data would have moved with them. There could have been several different components that might have upped the inventory.
Okay. All right, good. So I'm just making sure that when I run it, and even though I'm counting in transit and in repair, I'm still saying that I have a total of 5. And then when those come back in, that shouldn't, when the status changes to available again, it should still be 5.
Correct.
Okay, good.
Yes.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much.
You're very
welcome. I love
welcome.
this quick verify. Yay!
Yeah, nice. That's a nice feature, and so I'm glad I was able to share that with you all.
I know, very nice. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're very welcome. You have a terrific day.
You too. All right,
Thank
bye-bye.
you. Bye, everybody.
Bye.